The enemy always critting, never missing, and always using the best possible move. Can you beat a hardcore Nuzlocke in Pokemon Red with the worst luck possible? Well, I think I found a way to pull it off. You have to choose Bulbasaur as your starter. With worst possible luck, you can't guarantee getting a Pokemon that can beat Brock, so you need to rely on your starter to beat Brock. Charmander can't be chosen because it can't beat Brock, and Squirtle can't be chosen because neither Squirtle nor any obtainable wild Pokemon can't reliably beat Misty. You could temporarily skip Misty by fighting Rival 1 first, but if you choose Squirtle, you can't reliably win this battle either, so you need Bulbasaur. Now you might be thinking, Bulbasaur has Tackle, which has a 5% chance to miss, so with the worst possible luck, Tackle won't be a viable move since it can just miss every turn you use it. Okay. So then let's just use up all his PP on a Kakuna or Metapod and use Struggle. Well, with the worst possible luck, even Struggle won't be viable because Pokemon Red is the only Pokemon game that has a funny little quirk. 1 in every 255 moves always miss due to a coding error. Even moves that are 100% accurate, like Struggle, can miss with this glitch. So if we were to truly do this, where you have the worst possible luck, this would mean that you literally can't get past the first trainer, because you can always just miss. So, to ensure that we can at least do this run, I'm changing the rules, just a smidge. Instead of this guide letting you win a hardcore Nuzlocke in this game 100% of the time, I'll make it so that you win 99.6% of the time. So if a strat for a battle has a 1 in 255 aka 0.4% chance or less of failing, I'll still allow the strat so that we can use 100% accurate moves and not worry about the 255 glitch. Furthermore, this means that if we use Tackle 3 times, there is a less than 0.4% chance that they all miss. So for every battle we use Tackle in, we will assume that for every 3 times we use Tackle, 2 of them will miss and we still win. We're also doing this run with all our Pokemon having the worst possible IVs, meaning that all my Pokemon will have the worst possible stats. Having the worst possible stats on any single Pokemon has only a 1 in 33 million chance of happening, and even under these ludicrous conditions, you still have a 99.6% chance of winning. So you're still basically guaranteed to win with this run. So now that we got that sorted out, we're gonna skip encounters on every route that we possibly can. In this run, we can only catch the first wild Pokemon we encounter. If we hold off encounters for now, we can guarantee getting all of them by first getting a few encounters later in the game. Now, before we fight Brock, we have to get through Viridian Forest. We don't have access to repels until Cerulean City, and we can't avoid the grass here, so we're forced to get an encounter. No matter what you catch, this guide will work. To catch the hardest Pokemon, you need 15 Pokeballs, which conveniently enough is exactly how many we can buy with the money we start with. With this many balls, you'll have a greater than 99.6% chance of getting every single possible Pokemon you could encounter here. Finally, let's beat Brock in Gym 1. As long as Bulbasaur is at the highest possible level he's allowed to be before Gym 1, 14, he can easily wipe Brock's team with Vine Whip at least 99.6% of the time. Onix might outspeed you, and if he does, he might prevent you from attacking with Bind. But for him to spam this until Bulbasaur dies is ludicrously unlikely. The upcoming trainer battles are difficult. There's no interesting strategies to mention here, but just be careful and recognize when Tackle or Vine Whip is the better attacking option, even though you have to use Tackle at least 3 times to make sure that it hits at least once. Also, don't do any trainer battles if you don't have to. Trainers like this Rocket with Eradicate cannot be reliably defeated, so you could end your entire run if you battle them by accident. Speaking of rockets, Mount Moon, we're forced to get another encounter here. The encounter you get here does not matter. We won't be using in battles. I happen to get a Parasect, but what you get does not matter. In Mount Moon, we're gonna want to do a few things. Get your Mount Moon encounter to exactly level 14. Also, use your Viridian Forest encounter to defeat the last trainer here in Mount Moon. Bulbasaur can't reliably, wow, that's a new word, Jesus Christ. Bulbasaur can't reliably beat him alone. Also, make sure your Ivysaur has just got to level 21. We need Ivysaur to stay below level 22 for Misty. And there's one more trainer before Misty, and if Ivysaur overlevels on him, you are fucked. Get a bunch of Pokeballs for the encounter in the grass just before Cerulean. This is your Route 4 encounter. It doesn't matter who you get here, It'll just be in your team as backup in case something somehow goes wrong down the road. Prep this Pokemon by leveling up to the level cap, and you are now ready for Misty! Ivysaur can solo everyone in this gym, and once you beat Misty, the level cap increases to level 24. Both Ivysaur and the Viridian Force encounter should be at level 22 now. Do not put them at any higher level, because if you do, that means they over-level too soon. You're fucked for the Nugget Bridge battles. Now we're gonna beat Rival 1, and I kid you not, I almost deemed this entire challenge impossible just because of this one dickhead. And why is that? Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto can just use Sand Attack on the first turn, and now your Pokemon essentially can't attack, because we're assuming you have the worst possible luck here. And if you switch out to undo the accuracy drop, Pidgeotto can just spam Sand Attack again and again and again. So theoretically, you need to outspeed an Oko Pidgeotto. However, there is no way of doing this reliably. So let's go over what you need to do to play around this with each possible Viridian Force encounter you can get at this point. Option 1, Pikachu. Wow, this should be easy. Electric types are good against flying types. No! Try to open with Thunder Wave. If it hits, you will now outspeed Pidgeotto no matter what. The paralysis also moves the odds slightly in your favor. If you ever get Sand Attack, switch to Ivysaur to undo the accuracy drop. Pidgeotto can't use flying type moves yet, so Ivysaur can safely attack a few times while it's not getting Sand Attack. Switch between the two. Whenever you get Sand Attacked or about to die to a crit with Vine Whips and Thunder Shocks, you have at least a 99.6% chance of winning here. The only other two possible encounters here for your Viridian Force encounter are Butterfree and Beedrill. Unlike Pikachu, Butterfree and Beedrill have decent defense and HP. They can survive using the move Bide, which we can get access to through a TM that Brock gives us after defeating him. Bide is special because it ignores all accuracy checks, meaning it never misses. Not even the 1 in 255 glitch applies to this. It skips all accuracy checks. The way Bide works is that you can't move for 3 turns, but after those 3 turns, you do double damage you received back to your opponent. And if we use Bide, there are 2 ways Pidgeotto can kill you. Pidgeotto can either damage you just a little bit so that it doesn't die in retaliation to Bide, and then when you use it a second time, it spams quick attacks and crits all the time and kills you like that, which is absurdly unlikely. Pidgeotto also has a chance of killing you if it just spams quick attack and crits before you can even deal damage back. Both of these situations, though, are ludicrously unlikely, giving you a greater than 99.6% chance of beating Pidgeotto. Okay, so we beat Rival 1's first Pokemon. Next up is Abra, who literally cannot damage us. So that's cool. We'll use this opportunity to fully heal our Viridian Force encounter. How do we do this? We switch to Ivysaur and spam Leech Seed until it hits. Having Leech Seed miss 10 times in a row is way less than 0.4% likely, so we can use it according to the rules. When it finally hits, switch to your Viridian Force encounter with Butterfree or Beedrill. Spam Harden. When using Harden, your attack increases due to a glitch. With Pikachu, this obviously doesn't really matter. After your Viridian Force encounter fully heals from Abra, kill it. Next is Rattata and Charmander. If your encounter is Pikachu, switch to Ivysaur before Abra dies. Ivysaur can solo Rattata in this state. Deals much damage as you can to Charmander until you're in crit range. Then switch to Pikachu, finish off the Charmander, and you're good. This has a 99.6% chance of working, and with Beedrill, it can solo the rest of the team on its own. Butterfree might not be able to take out Charmander on its own, so with Butterfree, switch to Ivysaur when you're in crit range and finish off Charmander. And now, Rival 1 is finally done. The challenge isn't over yet though. We still have Nugget Bridge, which has a lot of required trainers. You'll have to carefully ration out the XP you get to ensure your Pokemon do not exceed a level cap of 24. This is very important. But once you get to the end of Nugget Bridge, you have access to 2 new routes with encounters you can get. Now this is where we use our level 14 Mount Moon encounter to manipulate these routes to get the Pokemon we want. You may or may not know this, but when you have a Repel on, you can still encounter Pokemon of the same or higher level than you. We're gonna use this on the patch of grass on Route 24 to guarantee a level 14 Oddish, since Oddish is the only Pokemon here that is level 14 or higher. Just keep your Mount Moon encounter in front of your party, use a Repel, and keep walking through the grass until you get the Oddish. Doing the same thing on Route 25 right next door, you can guarantee a Pidgey encounter. Since you already caught Oddish, with this Repel Manip trick, we can now guarantee other encounters, and we can get a couple of reliable guaranteed new Pokemon.